Bro, Pokemon cards like right now are hilarious. Like I get why people look into our hobby currently and they're just sitting here wondering what the hell is going on, what's up with cards, what's up with rarities, what's up, why it's so confusing for people to step in here. Yeah, I guess I'll put my light on today. It's my birthday. Why the hell not? I'll be allowed to see what's going on inside my room. Just want to talk about it for a little bit because just it's super baffling what's going on with cards right now. So the amount of things that are just going up and up and up, especially on the English side of the market currently, is just 100% insane. It's something that people are just they're double tripling down on for the sake of it just not being able to be kept up with. It's not going to be consistent. The price of some stuff's going down. I think people are aware of this too. I don't think everyone just thinks this is how it's going to be for fucking ever. I just truly do think people are like betting in on a lot of stuff, and some people legitimately don't know that a lot of this stuff is just being pushed up, right? So a lot of cards right now, and particularly like ARs and some of the SIRs that people are like getting in the English side of the market. I mean, some of it in Japanese is happening a little bit too. It's nowhere near as bad as it was 2 years ago. Japanese is once again the affordable counterpart, and people have completely lost interest in it. Like people just do not give a shit about Japanese anymore. It's whatever. If you were a fake fan trying to hop in on that shit, good riddance. Get out of here. I didn't want you here anyway. It's okay. Fine. The English side's literally doing the exact same thing. It's doing literally the exact same thing. They're pushing certain cards. They're pushing certain things. They're just not doing it with the exact same stuff. So the Japanese trainer hype was like all the rage whenever stuff was going on. Everyone, their mom was trying to get Japanese full art trainers, but not just all. They wanted very specific Japanese full art trainers, and people were fucking living and breathing and preaching the good name of it, saying this is the way to go. There is no reason some of these will drop in fucking price because they're not reprinting some of these, and it's like, well, yeah, that's true if there's constant demand for certain cards. But what people didn't understand is a lot of the fucking hype for some of these cards wasn't real. People didn't actually want these cards. People were trying to sit on these cards because they thought other people were going to want these cards in the future. To come to find out, a good chunk of them were not really that rare. Some of them actually had quite a few copies of it. Japan was doing the exact same thing. They were sitting on a bunch of their cards too, and they just introduced a bunch of new cards to the market whenever fucking card shops were buying them. Like it happened. And then people were like, what happened with Japanese? And prices just Beastar Universe is a really good one. That's a very good example. I'm sure a lot of people here who recently remembered. Bro, I remember that set coming out. The Irida in that set. It's a beautiful SAR card. I love that card, right? It was like $280 at one point. You can pick up that exact same card right now for 30 bucks, 25 bucks if you're looking at it. I think the Alessa was the same way. People were saying the SR Alessa Sparkle was going to be this crazy stupid card, and all of a sudden now it's like you can pick it up for like 20 bucks. You can just scoop up these cards like it was nothing because people didn't genuinely care about these cards. Playability had a good little bit to do with Irida, but that wasn't all it was. People were just fucking going all in on certain like cards being the ones people wanted to get. Trainer Hype was doing it there. They did the same thing with alternate arts too in Japanese. They really pumped some of those ones up, like some crazy ones. And I do agree, some of those are great, but it's not worth the price people are paying for and just the fucking splurge and growth just for it to crash back down in value. It does not do well long term for those cards, and it puts a sour taste in people's mouth looking at these cards just go up and down, that people are just using whenever they feel like just getting some extra cash. And the same thing is happening in the English market. People are doing the exact same thing with specific chase cards, and like they're trying to push on cards that people weren't interested in, like the rainbow rares, bro. Like the ones in Sword and Shield. Like I get a little bit where people do it for some. Bro, you are not going to convince anybody that you genuinely all of a sudden now have an interest in rainbow rares in the fucking Sword and Shield era. There is no goddamn way anybody who's been here for a little bit is buying that shit. That is a push. Well, how are people going to effectively push this? How are people going to do this stuff? They're going to use fucking TCG Player and eBay, dog. They're going to just start crazing up those prices just because all it is. All that stuff is, all you actually have to do is just one up the sales over and over again. All you have to do is fucking buy up some of the cards and then just go over up. I warned people about this 2 years ago too, that this was going to be a thing that people could do. If people just knew that they were capable of manipulating the market like this, then it was going to be all over, and people have decided they've caught on to it. They see what they can do with some of these cards. Until Pokemon just issues crazy reprints, there's nothing that's like, it's not going to change. There's just going to be some of these cards just sitting like this, and people have the craziest copes about this stuff too. Like, this card's really hard to pull. There's a lot of art rares to pull in this set. The pull rates for certain cards, dude, and it's like, there's like 24 other cards of the same rarity in a set. It doesn't matter if this is people's favorite Pokemon. If a specific rarity is extremely difficult to pull, all of the cards in that rarity would have some value. All of them. Every single one, because that specific pull rate is hard to get. Following the logic that people say, it's like Duraludon and fucking Umbreon have the exact same pull rate in Evolving Skies. They have the exact same pull rate. The exact same one. But one's worth $800, one's worth fucking $25 or something like that. It's not worth a fucking shit compared to anything else. That is not what that is. That's people wanting a specific card to be a crazy high value and doing whatever it takes in order to make sure that card does that, whether it be hype, whether it be sales, whether it be, I understand it's a more popular Pokemon. The other one, based off your logic, should be dragged up a little bit in value because it is in that same exact pull rate category. And people don't want to fucking, it's literally, Rainbow Rares follow that same thing. Rainbow Rares are fucking dumb. Like, people trying to push Sword and Shield Rainbow Rares is absolutely stupid at this point. I do think some niche collectors are going to like them at some point. I do think people will like holding on to some of those, but it's not going to be the mass majority of people. The mass majority of people have already decided what they want, and it showed with what people were hunting and pulling out of sets. It's going to straight up be the actual alternate arts of those cards. I just don't know who people are kidding. I don't know what people are thinking they're like gonna fool. The only two in Sword and Shield that are gonna have any kind of crazy long-term value is possibly fucking Chonky Chew and the Rainbow Charizard. That's it. That's the only two that are gonna have any kind of long, maybe a Rayquaza, maybe an evolution or two, and those ones are going to be way below any of the alternate ones. It's just TCG Player and eBay give people this amazing ability to just fucking change the market if they truly desire to. Like, people can do it with absolutely zero consequence because no one fucking cares, because the value of stuff is all people care about. If the value of a card goes up, the people who don't have the card are just fucking haters, and the people who have the card are just, they were smart. They knew what to do. They saw the potential for this card launch, even though they bought out a bunch of some of the cards. Like, even though some of the people, they bought 20 copies of the card, 30 copies, 40 copies, 50 copies, and they did that over and over, specifically at places. If you see somebody with a ton of a specific card, I'm telling you, they probably participated in some kind of buyout. I'm just telling you right now, that's probably what happened in that case. People are welcome to do it. People are welcome to buy whatever the hell they want. But when you see a specific card and then all of a sudden that card just spikes up in value, people have the power to do that. People can literally do that with any card they want. Why they choose the cards they do? I mean, it's pretty obvious in some cases. Other cases, I don't know. I don't know why people are pretending for fucking Rainbow Rares. Maybe people are sitting on a few of them. I don't know. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they just want to do it. It's just not real. Half of the stuff going on in our community is not real currently. It's not a real thing. I don't care how crazy that sounds. A lot of these prices aren't real. A lot of the people walking around our community aren't real fans. And a lot of people huffing boots here, fucking sucking each other's cocks at conventions, don't care about any of that stuff. All they care about is views, clicks, and all that other stuff. You can tell by how they talk about people. I don't care. Say what you will about it, okay? That's me. That's talking. Hope you have a good one. Watching this stuff happen in real time, man. Fucking happy birthday to me. Holy shit.